It's a pleasure to have with me today two of my favorite people. Christine Brewer, soprano par excellence. Hello, Christine.
Hi, Kathy. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. And along with her is Dr. Richard Shaw. Hello there, Richard.
Hi, Kathy. It's wonderful to have a chance to speak with you.
It's always fun to be with both of you, and so to have you together is a real treat for me. We're going to be discussing something that is coming up on Monday, June 24th at 7:30 p.m. at the Sheldon, and it is a concert called Songs for Democracy. Richard, you're one of the organizers. You and Paul Reuter have really organized this concert. And you also are a co-founder of the St. Louis Women's Chorale. So you have a vested interest because they're also going to be on this concert.
We had the idea that it was really important in an election year to just remind people of the importance of their participating in decision making that's going to happen this fall. Paul Reuter, who is not only a wonderful administrator and was at the Sheldon for many years, but also an excellent composer. And he's been very involved in the music scene in St. Louis for a long time. He's done a huge amount of the work putting this together. So I certainly want to give him lots of credit for that.
Amen. What a tremendous champion of the arts. Let's talk about the Sheldon itself because there is a tie-in. The concert has been put together to benefit the League of Women Voters, yet this is not a partisan thing whatsoever. It is actually supporting our right as Americans to vote.
Yes, absolutely. It's so important for all of us to remember and to get out and vote. But for me, as a woman, I think about the women that forged the way, the suffragettes who did this so that we could get that right. And it didn't happen until 1920 when the 19th Amendment was ratified for women to vote. So I always feel like I really have to make sure my women friends and young students who are just turning 18 or 19, make sure you register to vote, make sure you get out and vote. It's so important. One of the pieces I'm doing is actually from an opera by an American composer, Virgil Thompson. He was born in Kansas City, Missouri, by the way. And his music is rooted in the Americanas, the hymns and the folk songs. And this opera he wrote with librettist Gertrude Stein. The opera is called Mother of Us All, and it's mostly about Susan B. Anthony. And of course, she died before women actually got that amendment passed. And so there was some nostalgia there. At the end of the opera, she's a statue, and she comes to life at the end of the opera and sings this most poignant, powerful piece called We Cannot Retrace Our Steps. She sings about how she was a martyr for the cause. And in the middle of this, there's a little interlude, and you hear the music, and you think, oh, I know that tune. And it's the tune of In the Sweet By and By. And that song actually became popularized by the Salvation Army, and they played it at the funerals of Army men and women who lost their lives. So that song sort of fits right in with this theme. And she says, I was a martyr. So it's sort of like, don't forget this, y'all. Remember to vote.
Wow, that is
Yeah,
powerful. And that actually
it is.
kicks off this concert.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to start.
The historical aspects of the Sheldon are really interesting, and it's absolutely tied to this whole theme. The building itself was built in 1912 by the Ethical Society of St. Louis, and it was built as a speaker's hall, which accounts for those exquisite acoustics. And then later on, the green room was the site of where the League of Women Voters was first founded in 1919,
Wow. Oh, that's
which is
great.
yeah, it's a fabulous tie-in. And so the fact that this is being held at the Sheldon, I think Paul's choice of promoting the Sheldon's presence in this is really genius. The Ethical Society moved to St. Louis County in 84. For about 20 years, that green room had been used as their library. But then in 84, the Sheldon became the community center and concert venue that we know now. What a wonderful way, though, to kick off this celebration of our democracy. Thank you, Christine, because she leads things off with Olivoska Bonyakova. And then the St. Louis Women's Chorale comes into view. And you know about the chorale, Dick, and they did the suffrage cantata not all that long ago.
That was a really wonderful piece of music. We've asked the chorale to sing a couple of selections from that under the direction of Leanne Latuda, who's a really marvelous artistic director. It was a very moving concert that involved young people also. I think it certainly fits into the theme very much of what we're trying to say.
And once again, Allah will be accompanying that. Then the next item on the program, I think you know this soprano pretty well, don't you, Christine? Angel Love?
She's originally from Belleville. The East Siders here, Lebanon, Illinois, Belleville, Illinois. She has the most beautiful voice, and I can't wait. I do not know this piece that Paul wrote for her, Sojourner Truth. I cannot wait to hear that.
Me too. And Mary Weber will also be playing trumpet on that, and Anita Hagerman double bass. That ought to be really wonderful. So she's doing Sojourner Truth, and also from a work called Cantata, Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child. Also, Let Us Break Bread Together.
The cantata that Angel's going to sing by John Carter, he was born in St. Louis. I made a recording several years ago called St. Louis Woman of pieces that were by St. Louisans or about St. Louisans, and that's when I first heard about him. And this arrangement of those two spirituals, amazing. It's a fantastic piece. I know Angel's going to sing it beautifully, and Allah will enjoy the accompaniment. Is also very interesting. Yeah.
She's such a brilliant pianist, too.
Yes, she is.
And then, all three of us know this gentleman, too, Dwayne Foster, tenor. And he will be singing with Angel and Allah, Wheels of a Dream from Ragtime and Make Them Hear You, also from Ragtime.
I worked with Dwayne in a variety of capacities. He was not too long ago the principal at Normandy High School, but I had many opportunities to work with him in the music department there. I've always just been amazed at his extraordinary talent. But he just finished the lead role in the Black Rap production of Timbuktu, and he was just astounding in that. I would just like to say that besides the fact that there's a powerful message in this production, it is going to be an amazing, entertaining evening of just glorious music that everybody will thoroughly enjoy.
Absolutely right. It's like the hits keep on coming here. Now, there'll be a little intermission after Dwayne sings. And after the intermission, the 442s graced the stage. Sean Weil and Shannon Williams, Bjorn Renheim, Bob DeBoo, Caleb Kirby, and Adam Manis. And they'll start off with one of Adam's pieces, Gloom and Doom. And after Gloom and Doom comes a world premiere. Christine, tell us about that.
I haven't heard it, but it's called Better Angels. And Adam Manis wrote this as well. I've heard pieces he's written before and pieces he's arranged. I've done pieces with him in their holiday spectacular. He is a brilliant composer. I can't wait to hear this new piece, Better Angels.
Don't you love the name, Better Angels?
Yes, yes. I want to talk to him about what inspired him, Yeah.
Be fun to find out.
It's wonderful to have this group as part of the program. They are outstanding musicians. Some of them play in the St. Louis Symphony, but as a group, they have really plowed new ground in the music world here. There's a lot of wonderful things that are original with them. Adam is the driving force with his compositions and arrangements and that sort of thing. But it is an outstanding group of musicians. I've had the wonderful opportunity to work very closely with that group since its beginning. It will be a tremendously enjoyable experience to hear them perform also.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Richard. Now, they're also doing one other piece after the premiere, which is Fender's Folk Song, Phenders, Pholk. Another Adam Manis tune. He always thinks outside the box with his titles.
That title is because it was written for the incredible symphony pianist Peter Henderson. So the Phend is the Fender title, and it's been performed numerous times. They sort of consider it their theme song now.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. Yeah.
Peter is one of the nicest people walking the earth, too. Then, Miss Christine, you come back, and you're going to be singing with Bjorn Ranheim and Alla Voskobonyakova. Tell us about the arranger and the history on that.
Well, we're going to finish with one of my favorites. Whenever I sing with the 442s, or if I'm doing a recital and Bjorn is around, we do this piece. It's an arrangement that Randy Kerber did for Lynn Harrell, wonderful cellist, Lynn Harrell and me, and we sang it quite a bit. We recorded it with John Williams conducting. And right before we started the recording session, John said, "Now, I want you all to know this is the same studio, the MGM studio, where Judy Garland recorded this in 1939. I said, "Oh,
Oh,
great. No pressure, though,
No
John.
pressure.
Thank you. Thank you." But anyway, sadly, Lynn passed away in 2020. And we did a big concert after the pandemic in LA. And we did this piece. And, there were lots of cellists there who played some of the pieces that he had played. And it was very moving. But this original recording we did was for Save the Children. And all the artists who performed volunteered their time. Jesse Norman, the Blind Boys of Alabama, oh, on and on. And the music went for children in war-torn countries. And so it just touched my heart so much. So I shared this with Bjorn a few years ago, and he said, "Well, let me look at the score. I'll see if I can play it." And he does. And I'll tell you, he plays it beautifully. Ala plays it beautifully. We've done it together many times, and it's really become one of my favorite pieces. So looking forward to that.
Because you had shared that recording with me and I have it in our library, every single time I play it, I will get an email.
Oh,
I'll get emails from people saying, that was the most gorgeous thing I ever heard. And it really, it's in just that marvelous place between heaven and earth. It just lifts you up. It's gorgeous, Christine.
well, Lynn and I, along with Randy Kerber and with John Williams, had this project going, the Harold Arlen Project. And John told me one day, he said, "Don't tell anybody." Of course, I'm telling this now. He said, "I really like Arlen's music more than Gershwin." So we would meet up in LA and I'd get a call, "Hey, we're all in town. Can you fly out to LA and we'll work on it?" And Randy just seemed to know what worked for my voice and what worked for Lynn and sort of meshed this together. And John just tweaked things, and it was just a wonderful experience. So every chance I get to sing it, I think about them, and it's just really special.
Oh, well, it is indeed an exquisite arrangement. And I know this will just leave everybody breathless at the end of the concert.
I hope so.
I hope so. Richard, tell us how we can get tickets for all this.
Monday, June 24th, we've tried to continue the theme of 24th. It's 2024, and it's on June 24th, and the ticket price is $24. I would like to say that the wonderful thing is that through Paul's amazing efforts and some of my work too, we were able to fundraise and pay for the entire concert so that all of the ticket revenue is being donated to the League of Women Voters. Tickets are available through Metrotix, and I'm sure they'll be available right up to the day of the concert.
You can go to metrotix.com or you can call them at 314-534-1111. And again, the name of the concert is Songs for Democracy, celebrating the fact it is our privilege as Americans to be able to vote. And so this is raising that awareness in the community. Participate.
Amen. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
May I tell one little story? When I was talking to my 10-year-old grandson, Oscar, about this, he comes to a lot of concerts when I'm in St. Louis, and he's heard me sing with the 442s quite a bit. And he said, "Oh, could you get tickets for me and my buddy Vinny?" And I said, "Honey, you guys have a baseball game that night. You can't come. I'm so sorry." And I said, "Though, I want you to know, I kind of feel like Taylor Swift." And he just looked at me with this dumbfounded look, and he said, "What?" I said, "Well, when she does concerts, she helps young people get registered to vote, encourages them to vote." And he looked at me and he said, "You are aware that Taylor Swift sings for audiences of thousands of people?" I said, "Yeah, I'm aware." But
Like, you don't?
so anyway, nothing like just bringing me right back to reality.
Hey,
Sure.
Grandma.
I know. So anyway, he was
That's
so
hilarious.
hoping to see it. So anyway,
We're going to have this all completely televised or recorded by ATC TV.
Fantastic.
oh great.
So it'll be able to see it again many times.
Oh, good. Well, I will tell him that. Oh, that's great.
A really good multi-camera, a real professional recording.
Um,
Excellent. Oh my gosh. So excited about this. And thank you again for having us on the show, Kathy. It's really wonderful.
it's an extraordinary concert, wonderful talent, and just the dedication of each of you artists is tremendous. Dick, for you and Paul Reuter to have put this together and made it available in one of the finest concert halls in the country. I know you'll agree with me on that, Christine.
Mhm.
It's just marvelous. We are so blessed by you. Thank you both for being here today. And everybody remember Songs for Democracy, Monday, June 24th, 7:30 p.m. at the Sheldon. Metrotix.com or 314-534-1111. Thank you.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you, Kathy. And
Thank
see you
you.
at the concert.
See you at the concert.
See you there.